Hello everyone, you are all welcome to lecture number 1070 and today's topic is agricultural use of calcium carbonate, commonly known as limestone. Actually limestone is mainly calcium carbonate, and when we are talking of agricultural use, the farmers are using three type of minerals for their agriculture purpose. First is that is limestone. Limestone is crushed and after crushing it is changed into powdered form and then it is sprayed. The second one is that is called dolomite. Dolomite is actually calcium magnesium carbonate. So one is that is your limestone, and this limestone is your calcium carbonate, and the second one dolomite, and dolomite is a mineral that is your calcium magnesium carbonate, and the third one is that is gypsum. Gypsum is your calcium sulfate hydrated with two molecules of water, dihydrated calcium sulfate. So these three materials they are used in agriculture. Sometimes they call it fertilizer, but actually the main role of these three are to supply the calcium and magnesium ions. And I will be discussing the cation and anion role in agriculture or in soil. That will be later on. So here, before going for any type of calcium carbonate or lime or dolomite or gypsum application to the land, the farmer should have some little basic concept of the soil. So first thing is that we should know that there are two type of soil. One is virgin soil, means which is not exhausted, where the cultivation was not done, and the second one is called exhausted soil. So once we are going to use the virgin soil, so first we have to check its pH value, and secondly you should know the number of nutrients which are involved for the growth of the plant, for their healthy growth, for their flowering, and to maintain the fruit. So in that case, as we know that there are 16 elements. There are 16 elements which are necessary, the 16 elements for the growth of the plant, and out of which the carbon, and these 16 elements are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, iron, copper, zinc, chloride, all together 16 elements are needed for the growth of the plant. They work as a nutrient. Out of these 16, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, they are known as natural nutrient. They are known as natural nutrient. And because these are carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, we are getting from air and water. The other one that is called magnesium, calcium and phosphorus, or I mean sulfate, calcium, magnesium and sulfur. That is called your primary nutrient. It's your primary nutrient. And the other group, that is phosphorus, potassium and iron, they are known as secondary nutrient. And rest of the remaining elements, what out of 16, the rest is called as micronutrient. Micronutrient. So in soil, once you want to cultivate, you have to know what are the nutrients present out of 16. And I have already told you that 16 nutrients elements are required, and they are actually natural nutrient, then primary nutrient, secondary nutrient, and micronutrient. So after that, the most important one is that to check the pH of the soil. That is very important, because just to apply fertilizer randomly, no, it is not good for the health of the soil. There may be sometimes some burning effect, or the acidic condition of the soil may increase. That may lead to desertification, sterility. So in that case, before applying the calcium carbonate, we have to check the pH. Once we are talking of the pH, let me bring the ink. We have to fill the ink in this. So before applying the calcium carbonate or lime, or the powder of limestone for agricultural purpose, actually main reason for applying the powder of calcium carbonate or dolomite or gypsum is just to get the calcium and magnesium ion, so that the acidity is neutralized and it is towards alkalinity is alkaline. That is the reason of applying, and that's why it is very important. The reason is that if your soil is slightly acidic, the growth of plant will not be normal, and when the productivity will not be normal, and if the calcium ion is less, then other ions like aluminum will be more and dominated, and in that case it is noticed here in Maiduguri, Borno state, while they are cultivating the tomatoes and pepe, tatasai and tamatri, that the yield as well as the tomatoes and pepe product is not normal. It is ill product, and there is serious deficiency of calcium ion. That is very, very important to note. And most of the farmers, they are not checking the pH, which is very, very important. So the pH scale is like this. Once we are saying the pH of any soil is 7, 7 means it is neutral. And if the pH is increasing from 8 to 14, then it is alkaline. And if the pH is decreasing from 7 to 1, then it is acidic. So if in case the pH of your soil is above 8, means more than 8 pH, means no need to apply calcium carbonate, because it is already alkaline. 8 pH means it is alkaline. But if it is between 7 and 8, 7 plus, for example, if it is between 7 and 8, 7 to 8, then you should apply 2 kg per hectare. Per hectare 2 kg means if it is 7 to 8 pH. So in that case, to maintain the alkalinity or to reduce the acidic condition, we have to apply 2 kg of calcium carbonate per hectare, and hectare means 100,000 square meter. 100,000 square meter is called 1 hectare. And if in case it is 7 to 6. I mean, if it is 6 to 7 means it is really acidic condition, or we can say 6 pH. Then you have to apply 10 kg per hectare. Means it is 6 means is highly acidic. And if once it goes to 4 pH, then it is desert. You cannot cultivate any crop. And for the measurement of the pH, there is pH meter. Nowadays it is available for agriculture purpose. You can just buy one from online, and then you can measure the pH of your soil, which is very important. I have tested some of the soil of this Maiduguri area, Borno state, and it is found that most of them either they are 7 or somewhere it is towards acidic condition. That's why there is desertification. If you move towards Bama or we can say that is Gwaza hill area, and then there is desertification. So in these soils, it is necessary to apply 2 to 10 kg, depends upon the pH value of this calcium carbonate. And when I am talking of calcium carbonate, there are different terms used. First is what we call it is natural. One is natural lime, and your natural lime is CO3, that is calcium carbonate. Second is called burnt, or we call it quick lime. It is, we are getting when CO3 is heated, you will get CaO plus O2, and this is also called calcium oxide. Either you call it calcium oxide, or you call it quick lime, or you call it burnt lime. It is having the same meaning. And this calcium oxide, if you are having, you should not apply on your soil. The reason is that once there is humidity in the soil, and if you are applying, it will liberate the heat, and that heat will be harmful to your soil. And the third one is called, that is slaked lime, or we may call it calcium hydroxide. This lime is when CaO is added in H2O, and you will get CaOH twice, and this is your calcium hydroxide. So this calcium hydroxide is also called slaked lime or hydrated calcium, and these are all terms used. And why calcium is important? The reason is that it is all part of the 16 elements which are involved and which are playing as the main role of nutrient. So the role of calcium is, first thing is that it will decrease the concentration of aluminum so that your soil will become fertile. Secondly, it will liberate the magnesium ion if it is there, so that the alkalinity of the soil will be more, acidic condition will be reduced, and also calcium is involved in the formation of cell wall for the new cells. So it is very much helpful in the multiplication of new plant cells for the growth. So that's why the calcium as a nutrient is very, very important for plant growth. And also in the soil, the calcium plays important role as a cation, because cation and anion equilibrium is there. Whatever cation you are getting, the equal amount of same hydrogen plus will be replaced by calcium ion. So that ionic equilibrium of the soil and health. That I will be discussing in next lecture. So with this I will stop, and in the next lecture I am going to discuss the very important role of cation and anion, iodic condition of the soil and their microorganisms. And this calcium is also helping a lot in legume, means bean family, where there is nitrogen nitrification, nitrogen cycle. So it is very much helpful in increasing the nitrogen cycle, nitrification of the legume crop. So my advice here in Borno state, being chemist, to know the chemistry of the soil, most of the soils either they are neutral, 7 plus, or they are between 7 and 6, slightly acidic, means towards desertification. So after checking, they should go for the use of calcium carbonate, commonly known as limestone, powder it and spray it. And one thing which is very important, once you are spraying, make sure that there is no any crop and the soil should have humidity, and after applying, just you again you can say cultivate it so that the calcium carbonate should go under soil at least 2 to 3 inch down. Otherwise it will not be that much effective. And secondly, if suppose there is plant and if there is leaf, and if you are applying, then what will happen? The calcium carbonate can be on the surface of the leaf, and once it is deposited on the surface of the leaf, it will make a protecting layer, and the photosynthesis will be disturbed, and again it will affect the growth of the plant, because photosynthesis means they are taking carbon dioxide from the nature and releasing the oxygen with the help of stomata, God cell. So that is also very important, that calcium carbonate should be applied only when the land is free without any crop. Once again, thank you very much for watching the lecture.